and this is another edition of Lichess Plays. We're getting started here right on time. You love to see it. Very busy day, right? It's Sunday, as usual for me during Lichess Plays, but there's also a major speed chess championship match going on between Hikaru and Magnus. I'm sure many of you are also watching that. And mbiernat, are you there? Yes, we have life. Okay, good. Good luck to mbiernat. Let me adjust my webcam a little bit here. Can't be blocking the clock like that. All right. And of course, in addition to the Magnus and Hikaru hype, there was the World Cup final, which I'm sure many of you watched as well. All right, so this is a setup I've played quite a bit. Just a recap of the format. This is 2 hours of 3+0 blitz. I play all challengers. There's no priority given to Lichess patrons or subscribers to the Lichess Twitch channel, anything like that. No. Everyone has an equal chance of being selected. So feel free to send your challenges, especially if you're just hanging out. Hello. Greetings to everyone on Twitch and YouTube. We're on both platforms. Hello, lichess.org. I haven't seen a message from that account in a while. What's up, Tad Zion? Also, Berserk says not watching the final. I was watching it like right before I went live. So they're in the 5+1 portion. They just started the match. It's possible we'll click over to it at some point. It is being broadcast on Lichess as well. So the Lichess is carrying the coverage. But we're going to be playing viewers as normal today. Okay, d4. And I'm liking my position here. I think I'm going to try to blast open the center. Pawn d4 if I get the chance. Greetings to our YouTube viewers as well. Gregory, what's up, John? Hello, Soft Cookies. Also, Amand. All right, checking in from all over the place. Love it, love it. I realized before I went live, too, this could possibly be my final Lichess Play stream of the year. It's possible that could be the case, because next Sunday is Christmas, I believe, so almost certainly I won't be streaming that day. And then the Sunday after that is already the 1st. So it's possible, but we shall see. Okay, interesting position here. I kind of want to control this e4 square. I'm thinking of the best way to do that. I'm also tempted to play for knight g4, but I do have to respect the e4 move. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go here. We're going to drop this back first because the bishop's a little bit loose on f5. And I kind of think maybe I should have put it on h7, actually. Yeah, let's go here. Let's do this. Let's see how white reacts to that move. Berserk asks, does Lichess have Christmas jumpers yet? That's a great question. I'm not aware of any, but I would definitely wear them if they do, because that sounds amazing. Okay, this is exactly the type of move I was hoping to provoke. Looks super weakening. Let me just think how I want to take advantage. I could take. I don't like giving up my dark square bishop, though. Let's go here. And then on e4, I'm going to throw in this check. And I think that's going to lead to positive things. Last week, Eric Rosen streamed in your place. Yes, thanks to Eric for filling in for me. I almost said tuning in, but he was filling in. So that was clutch that he was able to do that. I was actually in Phoenix, Arizona. I was working a chess tournament last weekend. It was a big Scholastic tournament. I gave a blindfold exhibition. And you know what I credit my success in this blindfold exhibition to? Lichess Plays. No joke. The fact that I have a lot of practice playing blindfold in the final game of the day on Lichess Plays meant I was pretty confident. I was playing like a 1900 as well. Okay, this should win a piece for me. Take, and I got knight f2 coming. So I was very pleased about that. And thanks to you guys, and thanks to Lichess. Got to watch my time a little bit, but the damage was just done there. Also, I have bishop takes g2 a check. I could throw that in too if I want at some point. Okay, queen c3. I think it might be easiest just to go check and then rook e4. Up a piece here. So I think I would have been better off not pushing f4 in that position. Like, that was kind of instructive. Bishop g6 was a semi-waiting move, seeing if white would commit. I wasn't entirely certain yet, like, offensively what my plan should be. Again, maybe I should have gone to h7. Maybe the engine's also going to say, thank you, mbiernat, for the game. Okay, likes knight g4 right away. So my instinct with the knight g4 idea was correct. The timing was off. But yeah, f4, I guess even that move is not the greatest. But especially f4, I thought that was too weakening. Oh, wow, look at this line. Okay, I definitely didn't see this line. Take. And then if g takes, I guess I'm going to play queen takes h4. And there's ideas of checking there and there. Wow, check this out, though. If e takes, I give the queen for 2 rooks. It's nearly mate, right? White has to play bishop f1, and then bishop d3. Collapse. And I guess black's attack is too strong. It's not necessarily a mating net quite yet, but it's very close. So yeah, mbiernat, it seems like you probably need to sit tight here in this position. Pushing a lot of those pawns turned out to be weakening. Thanks for the game. We're up to 45 challenges. xadeq, you're up. Good luck to you. What's up, Bakuz? Hello, Diffuser as well. West of Wapaton says Hikaru up 2-1 right now. Okay, wow. All right. Yeah, once again, we might check in on that match at some point. You can see it on Lichess if you go to watch and then broadcast. They are carrying it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, bishop takes f4 is tough to spot. I agree. I do agree. That's a tricky one. John, are you familiar with the change in Stockfish eval calibration? An eval of 1 now means a 50% win probability and not a single pawn advantage. Yeah, I saw something about that. I have not looked into that, nor have I downloaded the latest version of Stockfish. But I did hear something about that, Igloo Kid, or read something about it. Interesting methodological change that they made. Wes says, I've got you on my phone and the Speed Chess Championship on the TV. All right, love it. Yeah, that's solid, West. Is h4 theory here? Probably not. I mean, black's playing this a little strangely with the double fianchetto this early. Black's trying to go for a hippopotamus type setup. Thank you to xadeq for being a Lichess patron, by the way. They got the wings next to their name. You love to see that. Okay, let's throw in a check here. So h4, h5, I'm just trying to create some pressure. I'm tempted to throw this move in now. But you know what? I'm just going to pull back. That's the purpose of the bishop check. Try to see if we can induce black to play c6 and then just come back with the bishop. Computer-style flank pawn pushing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've had a lot of inspiration for those flank pawn pushes over the past few years because the engines just love them. Now someone on YouTube says, Hikaru just beat Magnus. Oh, okay, so that was probably the game that made it 2-1. Yeah, still very early though, right? Those matches last about 4 hours, so even when we end Lichess plays, that match will still be going. Okay, this is starting to look really good for me. Let's go bishop g5. This pawn wedged in on h6. There's been lots of engine games, again, over the past few years, especially that have demonstrated the importance of an advanced pawn like that, wedged into the enemy camp. What's up, Belgian Novice? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hey, hey. Hope everyone is having a relatively peaceful lead up to the end of the year. Okay, I'm going to take now. I feel like I might be able to sneak this knight in somehow, depending upon how black takes. Hello, Obi. Shout out to Obi Arnold. Okay, yeah, I'm really tempted to go knight b5 here. Threatens a smothered mate. My thinking is if I can land the knight on d6, that's a checkmate. So even playing f6 doesn't help black, right? Because we would be controlling the f7 square. So I think xadeq has to either move this knight back to b8 so the queen can cover, or play this. I don't see any other viable moves. And if something like queen b8, I think maybe queen here. could be good. This does unpin the knight. Unclear how much that helps my opponent. Yeah, this feels a bit like a caveman attack, but I really have my sights set on this square now. I mean, maybe king d8 to try to cover. Black might be able to somewhat survive. It looks so sketchy, though. I'm also looking in some cases if I can bring my bishop here, like if I play g3, bishop f4. Time becoming a problem for black at this point, too. Yep. Okay, good defense. Yeah, now... there's also this move. Wow. But f6 then. Okay, let's go g3. Kind of an odd-looking move to make, but this is the point. Go bishop f4, continue the assault. I think that's very strong. Yeah, e5 looked pretty much forced there. Otherwise, moving the queen, bishop c7 check was carnage. And I think this should be winning. The position is just opening up too much in my favor. Forbes on YouTube says, John losing viewers to Speed Chess Championship today. Yeah, it's all good. We just appreciate good chess, right? And I know the good people at Lichess do as well. It's all good. No viewership competition here. Thank you, xadeq, for the game. Yeah, you defended pretty well there in the last few moves because you could easily have blundered into like a smothered mate of some sort here. But I think the position's too far gone. You probably have to take with the e-pawn, I'm going to guess here. Yeah, I guess e-pawn is better, but still pretty tough from an evaluation standpoint. But that does keep the knight out of b5 for now. So my advice, if you're going to go for this hippo setup, it might be better to fianchetto one bishop, just like you did, and then play d6, and then look for an opportunity to fianchetto the other bishop at a later time. You might even play like e6, knight e7 next to build the two flexible pawns in the center, and look for this later in the game. Yeah, because I kind of think once my pawn hits h5, you're already in some trouble. And I know that doesn't directly relate to this, but it was more the time that it took to play b6 and then bishop e7. Kind of already on top of you here with h5. So, yeah, something deserving of analysis. I find these positions a little hard to wrap my head around sometimes, though, because some people can play these hippo setups really well, but they're fragile. Timing is everything in this opening, and if you get a pawn break situation wrong, you're often in trouble. Okay, thanks for the game. All right, SV92, good luck to you. And you're rated 1792. Okay. Let's play b6 in this position. c4, b6. Hello, Yuho. Greetings. How are you doing? Greetings. I got to be honest, I would have expected more World Cup chatter so far. That was a massive event. How are you guys feeling about it? I hope I'm not going to spoil anything, like if I touch on the World Cup. I actually didn't watch it. I didn't watch a single minute of it. But I did read the updates after the fact. I feel like I should apologize for not watching it, but there's been a lot going on this weekend. All right, let's play in experimental fashion here. I'm going to go here. Hello, Spratten. I'm doing well. Thank you. I also, yeah, I hope that there can't possibly be someone out there who's like watching Lichess plays, but wasn't able to watch the World Cup and like recorded it and doesn't want it spoiled, right? Like that doesn't sound probable. I mean, if so, that's serious commitment to watching Lichess plays every week. And I applaud it. But yeah, I mean, we get that final. And especially the way it went down. And we also get Magnus versus Hikaru today. Unreal. Okay, let's play a5 here. I think this setup is reasonable, what my opponent's doing. So let's take now. And I was thinking a4, but maybe I don't have to rush it. Maybe go here first. There is knight b5. How are we feeling about that? I think I can still go here. Let's do it. What about the Vikes game, John? Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. That was another thing. Probably we have fewer NFL fans here than that. But that's another game I didn't watch, by the way, but was following some of the updates. All right, let's castle. So I don't have the bishop pair, but I'm holding up b4 for now. That said, I do think SV92 is better in this position if they play it correctly. Can I take here? Is this possible? Let's try. Do not blunder your queen. Let's pre-move it just in case. Gregory says, best football game ever. Nice. Yeah, from what I understand, it's considered to be up there. The Argentina-France final today. Wes says, I saw social media blowing it up so hard. Had to watch the highlights. Yeah, same. Okay, here's my idea. I'm going to take, because of the pin, right? And if bishop takes c5, bishop takes e4, hits the queen, also threatens mate. Threatens the checkmate as well. So SV92 has to be very careful here. Good. F3 is a solid move. I was actually wondering if I could play this against that, but I do think there's bishop d3. But kudos for finding that move. That's an important one. There's bishop b3 here. I don't quite like that, though. I'm actually going to play this move. I know this looks odd, but bishop takes c5 is a threat. So I'm going to try to shore things up a little bit. That's the play. B4, okay. Okay, let's take here. This is going to get a little wild. Take here, and then I'm going to take here. I have an idea. So again, if take, this hits the queen and threatens mate. That's winning. If bishop d3, now I'm going to go here. And I'm going to claim that the attack on the rook would have got me out of that situation. Maybe there's some way white could have fought back against that, but with the time situation, it wasn't looking good. Yeah, and this is winning, or close to it. I mean, bishop d3 does keep white kind of afloat here. Take this pawn now, maybe. But too much material damage, I think. Hello, James. Also, Kathleen. Thank you both for tuning in. Thank you, SV92. GG. Yeah, let's take a look in the middle game. Okay, so actually, the engine says I should go for this right away. I was wondering somewhere if you could play knight b5, but I guess with this being loose, that might not be the best idea. Okay, this does check out. Engine approved. And F3, I mean, kudos to you for finding that move. That's not easy in the moment. This might have taken you by surprise, this whole idea. F3 is good. Yeah, and look at this. B4, you're actually better. So you're down a pawn. I was debating stuff like this or maybe even this. But after B4, you are better. Let's see. Take. Knight takes. So if you find rook e1 or rook f1 especially, those are tough moves. I mean, if you play a rook e1 here, I would just start applauding you. Because I don't really understand why that move is so strong. Same with rook f1. I guess the idea is I'm kind of stuck as well, right? Like I can't easily move my knight somewhere without allowing this. You could try it right away, which is also decent for you, but then queen f6. So I guess the thing is the engine just wants you to secure the rook. And those happen to be the best squares. Like not rook a7, apparently. Although still reasonable. Knight f6. Huh. Yeah, this is hard to wrap my head around. I would need more time to process this. Why this or this would be better than like this one. But yeah, you were playing me pretty even up through the last 30 seconds or so of the game. All right, thank you. Let's go on to the next one. What is this game? Correspondence? I was like, this looks a little different than normal. We have to abort this game. So we're only accepting 3-0 challenges, guys. Good luck, Acorn Algebra. 1522. Acorn, are you there? All right, you can always re-challenge. We have a lower amount of challenges today, probably because of the aforementioned events, especially the Magnus Hikaru final. Good luck, Howell. So good time to get your challenge in. Okay, a lot of Caro-Kann players use this move order. James in the chat says, I'm beginning to recognize my own faults as a person and as a chess player. It's crazy how chess can show you who you are as a person. Yeah, that is such an insightful comment. I completely agree. And good luck to our friend here, Howell. I completely agree with that sentiment. Chess is such a useful game for keeping yourself honest and objectively analyzing your actions and taking accountability. So you're spot on about that. Someone asks, hi there, thoughts on the modern? Yeah, so I had a game with like the Pirc modern or Hippo maybe more accurately a couple games ago. Tricky opening to get right. I will say that I probably wouldn't recommend the modern as a defense to someone until they were maybe 16 to 1800 minimum. I'm talking absolute minimum because it is a tricky opening. It's very much based on the pawn breaks and the timing. You're giving up central control in hopes of fighting back and controlling the enemy pawn breaks. So you have to be pretty certain that that's an acceptable thing to do. Okay, this is interesting. E4. I was thinking about this against that. So let's calculate. So if I take C6, black takes F3, I take D7. And I think that works out for me because if black continues the chain, I'm taking the rook, right? So black is playing an in-between move with E4. They're not playing the expected recapture. So that's why I'm pausing, because I sense that this is a tactical moment. And I'm trying to fact check black whether that's actually a legitimate strategy. Now, they could stop the chain of pawn captures by playing bishop takes D7, but then I play bishop takes F3, and I will have won a couple pawns out of that. So let's go ahead and play it. I think it checks out. And that's because we got the hungry hippo checker style sequence here where I'm going to win the rook with check. Yep, so take. Yeah, now I think this would be best, but bishop takes F3. I won 2 pawns in that transaction. Looking good. Can you play some odds? Well, the odds are kind of built into the fact that I'm talking and playing and looking at chat and stuff. And I do lose in Lichess plays every once in a while. There are those of you out there who have taken me down. So probably not what you wanted to hear, but that's the extent of the odds we'll be playing today. Oh, and I will be doing a blindfold game in the final game. I do sometimes take opening requests, yeah. So if you have an opening you'd like to see me play, we can maybe work that in. Okay, let's go here. I took with the pawn because had I taken with the queen, black was going to hop on the file with tempo. So I'm just looking to do this and play this at some point. My king's extremely safe. H3 is kind of a tempting move to make some luft for the king, but then there's bishop takes H3, so I'm not going to go that route yet. Can I play Nimzo against d4? Absolutely. Absolutely can. Yeah, so again, I'm thinking about doing this. Like now this would make more sense, right? Because bishop takes h3 is not working. Let's play it. I want to go c5 soon, though. Can I play London? Yes, I'll play a London. I'm going to play the Jobava London, though, not the normal London. Just to warn you. Let's go here. Stafford. I could maybe play Stafford, but more likely someone's going to play the Stafford against me first. Such a popular thing. Can I please play a Leningrad Dutch? I also might be able to work that in. Yeah. Okay, I've got a lot of opening requests. Jobava London's your new favorite opening? It's a pretty cool one. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play. Okay, this is good defense by Howell. Let's just push. I'll let black have a2. This pawn's hanging as well, but I'm going to push first. Yeah, now take, because I take with tempo. And roll the pawns. Roll them up. Get them connected. Roll them up. This one just to connect here. C6 coming. That is a lot of pawn inertia for black to contend with. Hikaru up 3.5, 1.5 in the first. Wow. Okay. Impressive from Hikaru. We're just putting the finishing touches on this game. Incoming mate. Thank you, Howell, for the game. Yeah, so instructive moment there where you try to sneak in the e4 move. You know, e5 I think could be decent, but I do believe you should capture here or here. You could take that one. Like, that would be a reasonable intermediate move. In-between move. But I do think e4, yeah, we can see it here. E4, you could consider that the losing move because of the capture here. So always, always, always consider these sequences quite carefully before you go into them. So again, the domino effect favors white here. I queen with check. If someone can create like a big capture or especially a check in a sequence like that, it often swings the entire evaluation of the sequence in their favor. Intermezzo, yes, also known as an intermezzo. Actually, it's funny. If you look up like intermediate move or intermezzo online, it's one of the most commonly, how do I even want to describe this? It's one of the terms in chess that has like the most alternative names for it. It's kind of crazy. In-between move, intermezzo, in-between move. I feel like there's 3 other terms for it that I'm forgetting. They all mean the same thing. And it's not exactly even precisely defined, but basically it's like a deviation from an otherwise normal sequence, especially involving captures or forcing moves. Yeah, Zwischenzug, sorry. Yeah, Zwischenzug. That's another one. So, like, e4 is an attempt to disrupt this normal chain of events. Like, I take you, you take me. But it just happens to fail because I create the stronger series. Someone once emailed me, and I think he had a great point. I had a discussion with him about it. He recommended calling these types of situations competing threats, which I think more accurately characterizes like what they're actually about. Competing threats. Like black is trying to create a competing threat of equal or greater significance by playing this attack on the knight, but it fails because my threats turn out to be greater. So you can kind of think of them in an adversarial context like that if it helps. Okay, thanks for the game. Appreciate it, Howell. rshanor, didn't we just play? Oh, no, you're in the chat. I was like, I saw your username. You recommended Jobava London. Oh, do you want to play Jobava London? We'll see if you have a chance to play. Okay. All right, I guess you're going to play it. You're going to play it. Okay. Gotham calls it danger levels. Right. I think that's what he's referring to when he talks about danger levels. Okay, queen takes d3. Let's go e6. This is the line I usually play against the Jobava London. I think throwing an a6 like almost always helps black. Just rule out the knight b5 move entirely. It's pretty simple. I guess in some ways it presupposes that you're playing d5 against d4, but you can play it even with just a strict knight f6 approach sometimes. Although that's probably going to be less relevant if you haven't moved the d pawn, because you could play d6 to stop pressure on c7. Okay, knight there. Let's play this knight move. Yeah, we're not actually watching Magnus Hikaru. We might peek at it at some point. Maybe halfway through our stream today or something, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay, let's go here. Magnus might come back after halftime. Yeah, maybe he'll be like France and he won't attempt a shot until the 71st minute. He'll come back furiously in the 1+1 portion. So I don't follow football much, but that's got to be highly unusual for a match at this level, right? Because that was the stat that I read when I was reading the recap today that really shocked me, that France didn't attempt a shot. Not even a shot on goal, right? Like just a shot, however they define that, until the 71st minute. Okay, here there's this move. That's the only reason. Yeah, I guess I'm going to castle. Lots of ways white can blunder this, though, still, like knight b6, bishop c5. They're set up to be defense first. Still, though, how often does something like that happen? I'd be curious. Yeah, it seems like white should be blundering something, but I'm not quite seeing what it is. I mean, I can play this. Again, rook here, there's takes, which really takes all the air out of the room. It's just going to be equal trade. So I'm looking at b5. Maybe I can get tricky with like queen e8 here. I mean, I think b5 is just probably one of the better moves in the position. Let's do it. I can't play too much hope chess here. And then I was thinking queen a5, perhaps. Trying to maybe flirt with the idea of attacking a2. So b4 is a threat. Hello, Jozarov's chess channel. Hey, thanks for tuning in. It says, great system against Jobava London. Yeah, this is a pretty nice and compact one, isn't it? I do agree. Yeah, let's go here. Hello, Maximus. I'm doing well. How are you doing? It's been a very busy last week for me. I was out of town last weekend. I was talking about it right at the start of my stream. It was a lot of fun. I was at a Scholastic tournament in Arizona, doing some lectures, giving some simuls, playing some blindfold. It was a lot of fun. I think there's some renewed interest in chess recently. You guys felt that? I feel like we're experiencing a mini boom right now with no apparent catalyst. I don't think there's an event per se of cultural significance that would have like spurred the recent interest in chess, but I feel it and I can see it in the stats right now. Could be some seasonality actually, because you know it's winter for a large portion of people who might be following sports, hobbies, whatever. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. Spending more time indulging in that, and it's the holidays, of course, too. Maybe it's the drama. Yeah, you know, that was the tempting conclusion a couple months ago, but we're kind of far removed from that now, right? I mean, the Magnus Hans thing went down in early September, so it's been a while now. There we go. Okay, thank you, rshanor, for the game. Yeah, so this system, I'm trying to think like what advice I would give you here, because I have played a lot of games where white goes f3 and g4 in this system. That's probably, strictly speaking, the most aggressive and challenging thing to do. So I would probably recommend looking into that. It's similar to the lines if black plays bishop f5 even without a6. So you can think about that. I think this whole trade and then d takes c5 and probably especially knight a4, like I didn't particularly like that move. I feel like you should be looking to more so play in the center at some point. Let's see. The engine already likes black here, which is interesting. I wouldn't have expected a half pawn advantage or more for black here, to be honest, because I'm not even castled yet. But this is the problem with the Jobava London. If there's an issue for white, it's often due to the fact that the knight is blocking the c-pawn. In a lot of constructions, if you can't concretely benefit attacking-wise from that, the knight is just misplaced. So for that reason, I can understand my opponent's desire to move the knight. Wow, this is apparently just really strong here. And if take with the knight and then try to win a2, yeah, that's probably it. And this guard's here. So I think safe to say knight a4 especially was kind of a lemon. Although I didn't exactly punish it. Wow, this is -6. That's crazy. So if at some point on Lichess they have the newest version of Stockfish, which they're usually very quick to implement, so don't be surprised if you see it soon. This type of probability will change, as someone was talking about earlier in the chat. Or this type of evaluation, let's say. But that's crazy that this is -6. Knight d7. So this is strong because it threatens knight c4. Rook c4, rather. Interesting. And there's no queen takes c4 reply. You can even allow this, and this is just good. What if white... yeah, I guess that's true, because even if white moves the knight, this is still an... Whoops. This is still an issue for white. Queens can't stay guarding the bishop. And probably something like b3 is too sketchy. Take, bishop f6. And then b5. White is toast on the dark squares. Yeah, aggressive evaluation, but I believe it. Okay, thanks for the game, rshanor. Probably look into that f3 approach I mentioned. I think that's the way to do it. All right, and we're at 50 challenges now. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Still ways to go in Lichess plays today. We're still on the first part of this stream. Good luck to Alex. Okay, let's play a von Hennig Gambit. This is a line I have a couple students who play. I've one student who actually turned me on to this variation, who told me about it, and then I recommended it to another student, and he really likes it. It's in this position, so almost everyone plays knight takes e4, but bishop c4 is actually kind of interesting. And black immediately, I think, plays a suboptimal move, e6. Like, that's a safe move, but now this bishop is locked in. So this should give me some advantage, I would say. Oh, you guys really want me to be commentating that match, huh? Yeah, we talked about it briefly this morning, me and the Lichess team. But we decided because it's 4 hours, it just probably wouldn't work logistically, and we hadn't previously planned it. But I agree, it's tempting. Okay, so I think I'm slightly better here. Black's a little bit cramped. You know, light square bishop is a big question mark. That's the main thing. Oh, thank you, Bobby Chess. That is very high praise. I am not at Messi's level in my specific domain, that's for sure. No, but that's very kind of you to say that. Maybe check back in 20, 30 years. We'll see if I can put together a further decent resume. To even be in a conversation like that would be amazing, but I feel like the term GOAT in every like competitive endeavor has been so overused these days, it's almost lost all its meaning. But I'm glad you said boss instead of goat. Frozen Cloud says that show Queen's Gambit is said to have increased interest in chess. Yeah, definitely. I think we're still seeing the Queen's Gambit effect. It has been 2 years since that show came out, though, it must be said. So that was quite a while ago at this point, given how fast our world moves. But I think Queen's Gambit created a base of players, even if they just stuck to it casually or like maybe bought a chess set at the time and then like used it a little bit, but maybe put it aside, who now have a newfound respect for chess after previously like never seriously considering it, and may pick it up at some point again, and maybe are picking it up. Because chess has a way of doing that. Chess has a way of bringing people back into the fold, even if they played it as a kid or, you know, a parent, friend, whatever, taught them, and then they kind of forgot about it. It has a way of bringing people back. Oh, thank you, Minimal. Very kind of you. I'm glad you like my voice. And welcome, welcome. Thanks for being a first-time chatter. This reminds me of a martial attack. This pawn structure that we have, martial attack in the Lopez, which is a gambit for black. Kind of funny. Even some of the minor pieces are positioned in a similar way. It's just queens are off the board, and it didn't remotely come from the same opening. This was a Caro-Kann. Okay, so black's trying to get some compensation here. I don't think it's quite enough, but it's interesting. It's interesting because this rook is still buried, so I have to take some precautions. Let's try to work out of this. I'm going to play bishop e3. Probably the biggest problem for Alex right now is Alex only has 20 seconds left. I'll take here. I mean, this could be drawish, though, like on a purely technical basis. b4, yeah, black's down a pawn, but they might be able to neutralize that somewhere. Even this move, like it looks clean to take, but take, rook takes. But then if we continue the sequence, no, I lose the rook in the end. Here's another in-between move sequence, guys. So knight takes b5, knight takes e3 check, f takes e3, rook takes e3, knight takes d6. At first I thought, oh, that might be good for me. Rook takes d3, hitting the knight. Knight takes b7, I get the last laugh. But then rook d1 check, and my rook in the corner is lost. So let's back off the bishop. Hope you followed all that. Okay. c4, knight f4. That might be the most ambitious, actually. I'll do it. We'll do it. I still want to play f4, but nah. Actually, let's go h4 here. I think I actually meant to play c4 here, but then I decided to play it. My mouse went to f3. Even though I said we'll do it, I didn't actually play the move that I said I was going to play. Okay, thanks for the game, Alex. Yeah, I think you're close to getting full compensation, strangely, because my king was always a little bit messed up. Let's see what the computer says around here. Maybe I should go this direction. King d1 is better. Oh, bishop e3. Somehow I didn't consider bishop e3 here. Didn't think about it. But yeah, that looks much better in hindsight, right? I get the chance to castle on either wing. I don't disturb my king. I think you played reasonably well here from a position that wasn't the best for you out of the opening. Yeah, look at this. You're better at this point. c4. And it likes black's chances here. Probably because you're going to play, after this move, like knight d5 and then b4, really start pressing up on my structure. Interesting. But yeah, this gambit, it's an interesting option. I do think playing knight f6 or thinking about getting the bishop out to f5. Those are the better moves. So you might want to look into this briefly. Probably you're unlikely to encounter this particular move, but maybe check it out if you get a chance. Thanks for the game. Yerna, hey, good to see you. Good luck. This is our 4th game against each other. Yes, have fun. Okay, let's play... Let's play a Pirc. Trying to think what you guys have asked for me to play. John, where's the Christmas tree? You know, I was thinking about that today. I haven't got it out of my closet yet. It's kind of buried in my closet since I've moved. I did put a Santa hat on the king back there, so hopefully that semi-suffices, although you can't even really see it on my webcam. So in conclusion, I apologize. Okay, so this move rules out knight g4. I'm kind of tempted to play some quick c5 or something. I don't know if it stands up tactically, so let's just play c6. Look for b5. Expand, threaten b4. Looks reasonable. Are there any other board games that you like playing, or is it just chess? Yeah, I'm not a huge board game person beyond chess, I gotta say. I mean, I enjoyed like tons of like standard games as a kid, like Risk, Monopoly, even really simple stuff like Sorry. I used to play with, my family. I was pretty big into poker, so not a board game, but I did like poker back when like Rounders was a thing, and a lot of people were playing in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. I played a lot of poker online back in the day. Oh yeah, Stratego. That was a fun game. I think I saw something about Stratego recently, like maybe some neural net trying to tackle that game. Guess wouldn't be surprising in this day and age. But yeah, I don't really actively play like board games anymore, unless someone at a party or something like challenges me. Okay, we'll go h5. Interestingly, I think h4 would have been stronger for white here. If you play h4 in this position, it blocks me from playing h5, right? Because I haven't traded the bishops yet. All right, let's take. Yeah, Stratego was fun. That's a well-designed game. I'd play Stratego again. Okay, and now I think I'm going to start attacking on the queen side. My king feels safe enough here. I don't see any real problems with it, so I think I have a free hand to dabble in the other side of the board. Okay, that one's aggressive, but I can play bishop takes g4, so I'm not forced to open the file. f3, Okay, do not blunder knight g3, queen takes g3, Yerna. Don't do it. Okay, knight f4, better move. I'll go here, though. I don't really believe in this sacrifice either. This is a tough spot for white. They're kind of just down 2 pawns. Maybe some outside chance of counterplay like against h5. I do have to be somewhat careful here. Let's get a rook over. But let's say white goes here. I think I'm going to play e5 at that point and play in the center. No, let's go here. Okay. All right, not bad. Not bad. Let's play like this. Take. And now maybe here or here. Let's go here. Block the e-pawn, threaten the rook. Should be good. D4. Opening this up. How much do I have to be concerned about f5? That's the only thing here. Take here, f5. That's a little bit messy. And not the Lionel kind. Yeah, let's go here. Yeah, chess is highly accessible. That is a major advantage of it. For a game that's 1,500 years old, it's actually amazing how well chess works with the internet. I'm constantly astounded by that. Simple History says, hey, John, how long do you think Magnus will stay as the #1 chess player? Interesting question. I think there's a chance he could, if he wanted to, maintain his status for quite a while as #1. Maybe another 5 years. But comes down to his motivation. Comes down to how much Magnus himself wants it. But ability-wise, I don't think we're seeing too many players who can stack up against Magnus right now. The younger generation's coming on hot, though. They're coming on strong, trying to give him as much of a hassle as possible. But I mean, Magnus's recent performances, 22-4 against Fabiano in the Speed Chess Championship, for instance, are just further evidence of his domination. All right, thank you, Yerna, for the game. So I think the tone was set somewhat early when you lost the e-pawn. Probably best to throw in after b5 the move a3 and just stop the whole b4 idea. So I do think that would have been better. Again, as played, I was mentioning how if you want to go for h4, probably better to do it here, because then I physically can't play the move h5. You're blocking me. When you insert the trade first and then go here, in a way, it makes it easier for me defensively, right? Because I can play this move now. I mean, I think you did okay later. You played that g4 move. That was a mistake. Maybe you missed that bishop takes g4. Could have been played. You just don't have enough compensation here. But I think you actually fought back reasonably well here, even if the computer is not really budging with the evaluation. I think you did okay to make this complicated. So thanks for the game, Yerna. Well, Blundering Noob, this is our 15th game. 15th game. Time for you to turn it around, Blundering Noob. A few Indian players coming through? Absolutely. I mean, India is an amazing chess country to watch. Kudos to the Indian chess community and the culture that they fostered, their love for the game, because they produce some absolute beasts. It's so fun watching Gutkesh, Arjun Aragaisi, Nihal Sarin, who just competed in the Speed Chess Championship, had a pretty interesting match against Hikaru, Pragnananda, along with the other like tons and tons of strong young players that they have. So India is the one chess country I'm most hyped up on for their youth players. I think Uzbekistan as well, but India just has a lot deeper of a base of amazingly talented young players who are playing at the highest levels these days. Okay. So this is a typical situation where it's kind of tempting to advance here right away, but I'm gonna try to build up a little bit because black is cramped. I have the two pawns side by side. I don't see anything immediately beneficial about advancing the e-pawn. Blundering Noob can escape to h7 after a trade. So I'm just going to crouch behind my central pawns for now. Okay, rook b8. So this really indicates Blundering Noob's intention to play this move. I'm not going to get in their way. I'm going to play rook c1. Yeah, knight b4, but knight b4 I don't really like. The knight is off on its own there. I'm going to play d5. Now I will commit to one of these moves because I've taken the knight's route home away from it. Very sad story. And I'm threatening a3, which would trap the knight. So now I think Blundering Noob has to take some extreme measures, like a5. There you go. a5. Good move. As that allows for knight a6. What to do now? I could play this and then take here and really wreck black's pawns, but I feel like I have more in this position. I feel my position warrants more. What exactly, though? I don't know. Knight b5, knight takes a2. I'm not so hyped about that. There's e5. I could barrel through with e5. Not sure about that either, though. Okay, I'm just going to play a3. a3 and maybe then knight d4 or something. Centralize. This might not be so bad, though. I think black's relatively okay here. Hikaru is winning 5-2. Ooh, so I was going to go check it real quick right after this game because we're going to be about halfway through the stream. All right, let's play knight b5. Target this a little bit. Not threatening to take it yet, but it's kind of annoying. Maybe Hikaru was inspired by the World Cup match. World Cup final. Hello, Zachary. Yeah, same to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Great to see longtime viewers and also new faces in the chat. Let's go queen d2. Attack this pawn. Maybe I'll play bishop takes h6 in the future. Not really thinking about it yet. So Blundering Noob is still cramped, but I don't think their position is that bad. If black plays reasonably here, I think it should be okay-ish. Can someone send me the link of the game between Magnus and Hikaru? I'll show you in just a second, Oslo Papa, where you can watch it. Of course, you can watch it on chess.com, but it's being broadcast on Lichess, and I think also Chess24 has a lot of coverage of it. Okay, b4 is a bit annoying for black because now I've taken away the c5 option. Let's go bishop d3. e5 is the threat. Oh, I got to play this move now. I mean, this is morally forced, right? Blundering Noob didn't want anything to do with that. All right, I'm going to force you to take it, Blundering Noob. You must take my bishop. You got to take it. Okay, this is starting to get fun now. So I'm really looking at e5 here, right? To open the bishop. Yeah, I think we got to play this way. e5, take, and then the rook can swing up, or I could also play for g5. Probably just the rook swinging up is good. I think this should be fatal for black. Bishop f8. Still, there was rook g7, and this is mate now. Good game, Blundering Noob. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. I mean, knight b4, I was skeptical of this move. I was speaking pretty negatively about it. It is apparently a pretty bad position for you. +3 for white. But I don't think I handled this the best. I didn't feel like I maximized my chances here. So kudos to you for recognizing that you need to give the knight a retreat and that I am threatening a3. So you did make a point to retreat like this. Maybe knight c5 somewhere? Yeah, bring this knight back into the game. That might have been a decent chance for you, especially when it attacked this. Might have been a good time to do that. Yeah, because I think once we get here, I've restricted your knight. I'm crashing through. I think this is simply too much. Check, check, check. Yeah, e5, open the floodgates. Bishop f8 was like the only move I saw that you could attempt to try to inconvenience my queen, but I think it has to be winning. Oh, interestingly, this is not the best move, though, taking here. I should throw in a check first. Interesting. And then not even take the knight, play e6. I don't know that I would have found that. Probably not in the moment. So I guess bishop f8 gives you some practical chances. Okay, thanks for the game, Blundering Noob. Maybe look into your move order against the Lopez. when you play the Steinitz like this is okay, but you do get some pretty cramped positions. You might want to consider playing Mongredien Defense, which is A6, the Berlin, God forbid, but you could look into the Berlin defense as well. There are move orders where you can, for example, create a few more prospects for your minor pieces, especially your light square bishop, which in the Steinitz usually ends up on D7, but it's kind of a passive position for it. Thanks for the game. Okay, before we go on, so under the watch tab, guys, and this goes for most every tournament that's a large-ish tournament, sometimes even smaller tournaments that are being shown, whether it's an online competition or live. If you go to the watch tab and then broadcasts, Lichess has a really nice interface for following live tournaments. So here we can see chess.com Speed Chess Championship. And they have actually all the matches here. So if you want to click on like an individual match and catch up on it, you can. And the red dot indicates what's live, what's ongoing. And here you can see all the games that have been previously played so far. So they played what? 7 games, and they're on. This is the current game, the 8th game. I imagine they're in the 3+1 portion now. So this is live. There might be a small delay, but it's basically live. And yeah, we can see, wow, Magnus has not registered a victory yet. Hikaru won 3 times with the white pieces, and the other games have been drawn. So, I mean, how often do you see that from Magnus? Where they've been playing, I think they started at 1. My time, it's 2:30. So they've been playing an hour and a half, and Magnus hasn't got a victory yet. Which, if you recall, Magnus beating Fabiano 22-4. In that entire match, Fabiano didn't get a single victory. Hikaru's on pace for something similar against Magnus, but that would be utterly shocking if that happened. So I wouldn't bank on it. So anyways, that's where you can find this match if you guys want to follow it. And I'm definitely going to be watching it too once we're done with Lichess Plays. But we got an hour to go still, so let's keep getting in some games. Thesaru Gambit, good to see you. Always an active chatter. Shout out to Thesaru. Are you Irish? You are. Nice. Hopefully you're there. I'm going to try to play a Jobava London in this game. But Thesaru may not be present. Okay, you can always challenge again. Presiident, good luck to you. Tough player. Also our 5th game. All right. Someone was asking for a Nimzo Indian, so I can try to play that. Okay, white plays G3. This is the Catalan. Okay, let's go D5. I'll play one of the main lines. This is some heavy theoretical stuff. I don't know how popular this line is these days. I feel like it was more popular like maybe 15 years ago. But still popular enough that Presiident seems to be pretty familiar with it. And now the only thing I really understand about this is that you're supposed to go bishop D7 to C6. If white tries to hinder the B5 move, which was the point of my move order, A6. If white recovered the pawn, I was going to go B5 and bishop B7. That's a time-honored strategy. John, thoughts on the Hikaru-Magnus match? Hikaru's up 6-2. We just looked at it a couple minutes ago, so you must have just arrived. But pretty surprising. Pretty surprising. Oh, did Hikaru win that last game too that we were just looking at? No problem, Boom. Yeah, no problem. Should I try to take this pawn to B5 to protect C4? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a little greedy here. Magnus blundered a tactic. Wow. Yeah, because I only briefly looked at that game, but it seemed like Magnus was pushing in that one with the white pieces. Oh, my. You got to constantly watch tactics with discoveries here, by the way. So, like knight G5 type stuff. I maybe should have paid that a little more heed, but I think if knight G5 here I take, white can take the bishop, but that is a trade. So I don't think I'm that upset about that. In fact, this bishop might get kind of trapped, right? Like, what if I go here now? Notice I'm putting a lot of pawns on light squares, restricting the enemy bishop. I don't own a bishop of that same color anymore. But now I'm thinking this bishop might be a goner, right? Queen a5. Bishop b7. You're fianchettoed in my side of the board, buddy. Queen b6. One of these moves will trap the bishop. Yeah, let's just come back here. Can't recommend fianchettoing in the opponent's camp. In a lot of cases, that is. Yeah, let's just go here. Element says, chess is hard. You think you're doing good, and then you lose one pawn and your whole position will collapse. Yeah, chess is not a game if you are careless or don't pay attention to details. Because chess will punish you real quick. Absolutely. Okay. For the second time this game, white is threatening a mate on h7. I think now I probably should just take is the easiest. And then just gradually try to win this position with my extra piece. Blockading this pawn, so no worries. Let's take the file. I'll try to attack it. Maybe queen here at some stage. Again, let's not get mated. Okay, I'm happy to trade queens. Pick off the pawn, and it'll be sayonara pretty soon for white. Let's go here. King there was this, which I don't think should give me too many issues, but this seems even cleaner. Okay. All right, now I'm going to unpin. We're going to go after the rook. Swing my knight up and hopefully take care of business. Yeah, must not be Magnus's day. Blundering simple tactics, it sounds like. That's rough. And I don't think anyone really would have expected that start. Okay, I think I can give up the knight now, just continue pushing. These pawns are so nice because I can go after b3, play rook b1. Even if white tries to get their king back, I guess I have this discovery, but this mechanism can't be denied. Just watch for stalemate, always. No stalemate? All right, thanks for the game, Presiident. Let's take a quick peek. I am curious about b5. I made an attempt to defend the c-pawn with that move. Let's see if it was justified. Okay. You're okay here. But it is a principled move. The engine says it's a good move for black. I think we're still within the bounds of theory here, actually. Let's see. Oh, yeah, quite a few Masters games in this position. You can go to the little book icon. My webcam is currently blocking it, but there's a book icon. Now you can see it, where you can take a look and see Masters games and also games that have been played on Lichess from certain positions. You can see the percentage breakdown, the percent that white wins, the percent that are draws, and the percent that are black wins, and compare various lines. Yeah, so it didn't like the way that you played. Yeah, precisely because of this c6 move. The bishop gets trapped. Even without that, you probably wouldn't have full compensation. But the bishop getting trapped behind enemy lines is, of course, the biggest thing. So it seems like here you have some better options like knight c3. developing, putting some pressure, maybe keeping the knight g5 type stuff in reserve. And then here, queen e8 is evidently the best move. That's kind of a nifty move. Tough one to spot. Because take, I think the idea is if the rooks get traded, you want the queen to defend the pawn. Interesting. Okay, thanks for the game. Riley Scott, you are up next. Another Lichess patron. Good luck to you. I'm just catching up on the YouTube chat. Simple History says, hey, John, did you know that the medieval Chinese... Let's play another variation against the Caro-Kann. The medieval Chinese and Japanese invented their own unique types of chess. Yes, I was aware of that. Of course, there's Chinese chess, and there's also shogi, if that's what you're referring to. Webster says, John, I'm about 2100. Studying on Chessable, but sometimes struggle to apply my work to OTB or online games because it's a lot to memorize. What advice would you have? Or is it just a matter of more work? Yeah, you know, Webster, you're probably at a rating level where you might benefit from some type of coaching or some type of like specific feedback on your games. So even if you have like a friend or if you go to like a chess club, someone who's higher rated than you might benefit from, some like specific direction based on your play, because that's quite a good rating. So any sort of general stuff I could tell you may fall a little bit flat in this case. Okay, my opening wasn't all that spectacular, but let's just continue. Wait, Simple History? That's a popular channel? Let me see if it's the same person. Oh, I can't actually tell. But yeah, it is the username Simple History. Shout out to Simple History, I guess. Lenny Bilardo says, Magnus and Hikaru are Messi and Ronaldo, but John is Mbappe. Well, I really appreciate it. I don't know what I did to warrant that comparison. For one thing, I'm not 23 years old, but I do appreciate the comparison. I'm older than both Magnus and Hikaru. But yeah, Kylian Mbappe. Really knowing nothing about football, soccer, I'm just really impressed by him. He had a hat trick today, right? That's pretty sick. Ever seen Viking chess? No, I have not. That sounds really interesting, West. Viking chess. Okay, knight c4. Let's take. All right, I'm kind of liking this position now after a somewhat rocky start, let's say. I'm starting to like this position more and more. Because I still have this strong outposted knight. I'm creating some threats here. Kind of building up. Maybe f5 somewhere. Let's just go bishop d2. I'm going to try to get a few more pieces in the action here. But then I'm going to go after black's king if I get a chance. If we get the opportunity, that's what we're going to target. Isn't Hikaru considered the best at speed chess anyways? I mean, he's definitely right up there, like number 1 or number 2 at any given time. But Magnus, I think, most everyone still considers to be the best at the fast time controls. Also, as a reminder, the World Blitz and Rapid is coming up. So that, I think, is between Christmas and New Year's, if I'm not mistaken. And Hikaru and Magnus are both playing in that. All right, we're really gathering some speed here. Queen takes d5 as a threat using the pin. All my pieces are nicely placed. Black does have a nice outpost on f6, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold me off here. This is starting to look pretty concerning for black. I'm already looking at tactics. Take, bishop g5, maybe? I think that wins at least a pawn. Maybe more. Probably more like 2 pawns at minimum. There's maybe other moves I can consider here, but I'm really liking the look of that, so I'm just going to go for it. Skewer. I think knight f6 is more or less forced here. Oh, queen f8, but I think I can just take this one now. Recapture, and then we'll take here. Let's also get rid of our back rank issue. Just h4. And you know what? In this position, I think it's pretty easy to simply capture. We'll have black completely tied down here. This is a technical win, but Riley resigns. Thanks for the game. Appreciate it, Riley. Yeah, I think my bishop b5 in this variation, the whole idea is to get a quick outpost. I think I actually should have kept bishop b5 in reserve, just play d4 right away. You dealt with this just fine. I mean, maybe here, easiest to take the knight on e5 and play knight d7. Yeah, computer likes that as well. Take, pull the knight back, attack the pawn on e5. Because the longer you let that knight live on e5, the happier I become. I mean, the engine says you're better even all throughout here, probably because of your development advantage. So I felt like you overdid it a little bit, like trying to play around this piece. It's very difficult to do that in the long run. It's too good of a piece there. It's too well placed. But even at this late juncture, f5, maybe some ideas of coming back like this, still good for you. Still good. But queen e7, alarm bells are going off in my head because you're aligning right with my rook on e1. Dangerous situation. So f5, starting to open stuff. I have the option of this. You can't take this ever because of that. That starts to get pretty concerning. Yeah, and this is winning. I thought you might go knight f6, but again, we're kind of crashing through here. Take one pawn, e6 is going to drop. This has got to be winning for white. Thank you for the game, though. TJA, good luck to you. Should I try to get that Jobava London in? Let's see if we can do it. You took a rated challenge. Whoops. Yeah, you guys can challenge me rated if you want. I don't mind. Rated or casual. No clear preference. What's up, Basid? Good to see you in the chat. Greetings, greetings. All right, a6. There we go. Yeah, anti-Jobava move. Maybe TGA was watching earlier when I played that from the black side. Okay, and I'll try to do what I said that our rshanor should have tried. Play like this. What would you recommend for improving at a 1000 rating level? I've been studying puzzles for tactics, reading books on general theory, and playing friends at work. Would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, so at that rating level, I think you'd be better off with playing longer games versus like more academic type chess work. Like I really wouldn't want to spend too much time on books right now at that rating level. So check out my series on YouTube. It's called Chess Fundamentals. I talk about things I would recommend at that rating level. I go over lots of common themes that will be applicable to you. Definitely solving tactics is useful. Try to solve them for accuracy, but mainly like playing lots of longer games and analyzing them afterwards. Don't worry too much about like positional play, strategy, deeper themes, because you want to be tactically sound before you get to that. That's the base layer always, in my opinion. Getting to a point where you're not like making large unforced errors, which at 1000 rating, you're definitely doing. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Basid. Yeah, we were checking in on the Speed Chess Championship as well. It's quite the event. Definitely let me know when Magnus gets his first victory, guys, because they're, as of like 10 minutes ago, they were over an hour and a half in, and Magnus had not won a game yet against Caro, which is crazy. Oh, thank you, Royal Fork. Yeah, I had to bust out this sweater. This has like bears on it, if you were curious. I don't know. Seems semi-festive. Okay, takes. So this is yet another in-between move situation, guys, right? So I think I can take here. Because this bishop is under fire. If white takes here, I'm happy with this. Or sorry, if black takes there, I'm happy with that. If black plays queen takes f6, hoping to attack my bishop, I'm unconcerned because I can keep my knight on e2 guarding the bishop. If the bishop moves, let's say bishop b4, I take g7, hit the rook g8, and then queen coming into h7, which I don't think is like immediately winning. Black can move their king or something, but I don't think black really wants to get involved with that. Three plus one starting, no Magnus win. Crazy. So wild. That is absolutely wild. Okay, so black opts for this one, which I think is understandable. Like, under the circumstances, this might not be a bad option. I'm just going to force a queen trade. King a1, and then rook b1 would have also been good, I think. Okay, black doesn't take that pawn. Probably not the best decision. Let's go c3. I'm going to maneuver this knight. Oh, thank you, John Stevenson. Yeah, John was recommending my chess fundamentals videos. I appreciate that. Yeah. I made that series with players like Nick, who had that question about improving at the 1000 rating level. I made that series with players like that in mind. Just real building block things that I would have loved to know when I was at that rating level, and that I've seen to be true in my teaching. For example, very good chance in this situation, when I take this pawn, that black will play rook b8. One of the rooks to b8. Very good chance that that occurs. There's a fork possibility. Okay, black avoided that. They do run into the fork, but I talk about like long-range diagonal moves, queen and bishop moves, as being some of the most commonly missed types of moves in chess. And on Lichess plays, we see that constantly. All right, thanks for the game, TJA. So you just jumped the gun with bishop takes c3. I think this position already is a little tough for you to hold, but maybe you can still do something like take the rook, or sorry, knight h5. I don't know, though. I might even be able to go here in this position. But definitely bishop takes c3 was an unsuccessful in-between move. Knight h5 right away. Yeah, that's often the best reaction. So not opening the h-file, but doing this immediately. Because then, okay, like here's an in-between move that would make sense. If I take here, you can take this one because you're creating a larger threat. You're creating a greater competing threat. I can't afford to take here because you're taking here with check. You scoop my queen with check. And then you can move your rook after that. So yeah, that was a key moment right here. Knight h5, play to block up the position. Versus taking, and you can see the eval spike right there, take. By the way, I saw someone on YouTube asked earlier, I think I forgot to address that question. They were asking, like, how much would it impact high-level play if the players could see the evaluation, or like the eval bar? Ben Better, good luck to you. And I think Magnus or some other high-level players, we have a Scandi sighting, have talked about this before. That would be a massive advantage. Massive advantage if you didn't know per se what moves were good, or even what moves the engine was suggesting, but if you knew based on how the evaluation was changing, like what the quality of the moves being played were, or if there were a chance present, that would be a big, big advantage for a strong player. Did I watch the World Cup final? No, I didn't. But I did see some of the updates. Quite the match, it sounds like. We'll take this. So Ben Better lost that pawn in the center. Yeah, and here we have another in-between move sequence. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take back here. I could think about taking the rook, but the reason I'm going to take back not only do I have the threat on the rook, I also have this. However, black has a funny move, and black finds it, castling. Castling, that's a great move. Best defense in the position, I think. Because I'm looking for discoveries here, but I don't see anything like truly strong in this position. So I do think that was the best option. What should I play here? Because black is now threatening to take. Or are they really? Maybe I can just go here. Because on rook takes, I do have queen d8. Yeah, I could have gone knight h6 double check. Now I actually will play that probably because this picks up the bishop. But on the previous move, king h8, I wasn't really seeing anything that resulted from that. Hello, Michael. Greetings to Michael Machos on YouTube. Yeah, we'll take. Pre-move this capture. Did you see the Andrea Botez fight? Yes, I did see the chess boxing match last weekend. I saw the two chess matchups from that. Hambleton versus Trent. And then Belenkaya versus Andrea Botez. That was pretty entertaining. Ooh, and that cannot be recommended. But the position was gone for white, gone for black anyways. We'll threaten checkmate. How many matches did I win? You mean today? We usually average maybe like 19 to 20 games every week on Lichess Plays. Thanks for the game, Ben. So you played this fine up until here, e5. That's a little too aggressive this early. And I guess I could have played knight g5 right away. I castled instead. But, you know, when you're playing the Scandinavian like this with the early queen capture and coming out, you do want to hunker down a little bit. Can't open the position too fast because you have burned some development time by moving the queen around. I play this opening as well, but so what I would play here would be either c6 or a light square bishop move. You could think about bishop f5 or bishop g4 as well. That would be okay. And then often the pawn will come to e6 instead of e5, trying to block white's light square bishop. Thanks for the game. How many matches did I win today? I've won every game so far today. All right, M. Wayne, you're up next. Good luck to you. Did we have any requests from the black side about openings? I'll play a Sicilian. I don't know that I played a Sicilian today yet. Let's go with maybe like an accelerated dragon or something. Take and play g6. Yeah, why not? Go for the fianchetto. So far, so good for M. Wayne. Bishop e3 is the move here. A lot of people take, but that does give black the option of taking towards the center. This is all normal. Oh, yeah, you can check out my current score if you go to my profile, Fins, F-I-N-S. According to Royal Fork, I've won 12 games so far, plus 2 rating points. It's hard out there. Hard-earned rating points. Did you know that Eric took your place last week? I didn't know that, actually, until someone alerted me, and I really had to have a tough talking to with Eric Rosen. You know, he's such a scoundrel. I was gravely offended by that act of treachery. Just kidding, of course. No, that was cool that Eric was able to fill in. I wouldn't be surprised if he does more Lichess plays in the future. He's a regular Lichess plays, or sorry, Lichess personality, let's say. Plays in a lot of titled arenas. Pretty much every titled arena, actually, from what I see. Constantly streaming on the site. Okay, can I trap M. Wayne? M. Wayne did bishop takes f7. That's a decent idea because they're going to claim that they win the material back. And I went for this, intending knight takes e4, d5, by the way. Let me just think how I want to handle this. Maybe like queen a5 check. I don't know. Let's give this check and see how white reacts. Eric is full of treachery. Absolutely, yeah. You got to watch him. I mean, you can see it from his love for stalemates alone, and of course, like the Stafford Gambit and all the gambits. He's a mild-mannered, scheming individual. He would actually make like a great con man, maybe of like a past era. You know, he would have cleaned up in like the 1800s or something, peddling his tricks around the world. They don't call him Eric Treacherous Rosen for nothing. Yeah. That's actually a great nickname. I like the sound of that. So I think my check bore some fruit here. Queen d5, queen takes g2. This is working out in my favor now. But I think that a whole idea did merit consideration from M. Wayne, and I think they were onto something with bishop takes f7. We'll see afterwards what the computer thinks about it. Are you wearing an ugly sweater? Kind of. I actually did wear this to an ugly sweater party recently, but I don't know if it qualifies. It's not so bad. Magnus registered his first win in the 3-minute portion. Okay, finally. We can breathe easier now. Just kidding. I don't really have a strong rooting interest in this match. It's actually been pretty inspiring to see Hikaru's results recently. I'm going to take this pawn, even though it looks a little risky. Because if queen takes e7, check, and I'm going to eventually mate white somewhere on the second rank. Whoa, queen takes f2? Says, dang. the immediate in the chat, dang. Well, I guess M. Wayne thought maybe this was backed up somehow. But yeah, I think this is probably winning for black. White's king is pretty open. There was a check here. I was going to play d5 against that with the queen helping to defend the pawn. Let's see what it thinks about this position. a3, M. Wayne is not the best. Like, you can actually play bishop c4 right away is the main move. But let's see. I mean, I don't know. Take. Says best for me would be d5 or queen b6. Yeah, queen b6 is sometimes a move that gets played. d5, I guess I could kind of see that, like, starting to expand in the center. Looks a little bit awkward, but rook f6 guards this square, so I believe it. This is also reasonable. I guess that's just the big mistake, huh? If you play f3 and block my queen's path, you're still fine. How dare you call that sweater ugly? Yeah, it's not so bad, right? I mean, it's not specifically an ugly sweater, so it's pretty reasonable. Okay, thanks for the game, M. Wayne. Chess 987654. Good luck to you. Let's play knight f3. Oh, yeah, no problem, Wayne. Wayne's in the Twitch chat, says, didn't see queen takes g2. Yeah, no worries. I think you played well in the opening up till that point. So good game. Thanks for the notification about Magnus. We'll check the match one more time before we wrap up Lichess Plays. Get your challenges in, folks. We still got about a half hour left today. No one has really given me a serious test today, I will say. Right? Not to call you guys out, but I am calling you guys out. We need someone to step up and really make a run at my 2594 rating. I'm pretty proud of this rating right now because it adheres to it's better to be a high rating, like right up towards the round number at 100 points than a low number right past the 100 points, right? Like 2601. That's a weak number. 2594, pretty strong. 2599 would be better, but pretty strong. So I haven't seen a challenge from you guys that would like shake that level of Lichess plays domination. Dizochi says, because you didn't play me. Ah, got it. That's why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I see a little tactic. A little tic-tac here. Let's take this one. Bishop takes h7. Sacrifice the dig-dag. And then queen c2 check. Queen takes c6. Scoop up the knight on c6. Yeah, that's right, Lenny. That's right. This sort of structure is almost always a weak one for black. Knight on c6, pawn behind it on c7, and like a6, b5. Not good. Not good. It's too weak on the c file. Now black's going to lose this pawn too. Scoop this pawn as well. It's a free-for-all, folks. Check. We're going to get another pawn. You ready for another pawn? Check. Ooh, steps that direction. That's very dangerous, though, because now I'm tempted to actually look for a discovery. You know, everything's defended for black, though. I can't get at this bishop either, but maybe now I can just play a strengthening move like this. And I think very likely black's going to blunder something with their next move because it's almost impossible to move here for black. This might actually be a zugzwang. Almost impossible for black to play a good move here. Yeah, like this one. If I move my rook laterally to somewhere other than h7, that wins easily because black can't play king g8 anymore. So where? I don't know. Let's go rook d7 check. Probably actually that would have even been better because then I would win the rook on a8 as well. Let's put black in purgatory again. This feels kind of cruel. I think good chance black plays rook g8 again. No, rook f8. Okay. Now we'll bring this in. Okay, and now this is mate in 2. Okay, thank you, Chess, for the game. Yeah, so that whole knight c6 thing, this is, the long-term trouble, like in a d-pawn opening, that having a knight on c6 with a pawn on c7 can bring about. It can be difficult to unwind that. And you tried to with b5, but it left this knight undefended. You were really playing with fire, I'd say, especially with knight d5. I think this is almost the losing move. Ooh, again, that being said, there's always room for improvement. I did not play rook takes c6 here. I went bishop takes h7. This is still plus 3.5. The engine is absolutely clamoring for this move, though. And I see why now, because take knight e5 or bishop h7, but let's say knight e5 with tempo. Let's just say queen back here. It's saying that this is winning. I mean, this is way more complicated than is necessary. But I pick up the rook. The attack continues. I can even pick up the rook with check. Carnage. So rook takes c6 would have been the real principled way to play this, but bishop h7 also good. So maybe chess 987. Think about playing a setup like other than knight c6 when you're getting into a d-pawn opening. We kind of transposed. We sort of backdoored into this, but this knight is a bit of a problem in these setups. Keeps you cramped. Okay, thanks for the game. koffiedrab 2168. Okay, here we go. I think this is one of the higher rated players I've played today. Good luck, coffee or Kofi. Let's play Queen's Gambit. Tatterhood says, that makes me feel better about constantly falling below 1400. Yeah, that should make you feel okay. Absolutely. Okay, this is a complicated line. I don't really know much about this variation, but it is complex. Let's take. This is a pawn sacrifice line. There's a ton of theory in this variation. I remember one funny move you can play here is bishop f8. But I never know like if that's good here or when to play that. Should we do it? Because why not? This is Lichess plays. If we're in doubt about a move, we just play it. Point is, you can't take the bishop because of mate. And you are, in a lot of cases, threatening bishop takes g7. So it's sort of funny in that regard. Okay, that's an interesting reply. So if I take, okay. Okay, I got you. I see your point. But even still, black cannot... Okay, black's threatening rook takes f8. Not king takes f8, but rook takes f8. Yeah. All right, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's do this. This might really backfire on me, but I can't resist. I'm going to allow the capture here. Now, if black takes with the queen, and then I go bishop f3, that's bad because of rook takes g1. So my plan is here, right? To threaten checkmate on e7. I think this might still be theory, but I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff in this line. That's just the main thing I know. We'll briefly check the theory afterwards, but... Coffee seems to know what they're doing because you don't really go into a line like this if you don't know the theory. And based on how fast black played that early portion, I think decent chance that black knows this. Okay. Queen f5. Fair. Queen f5. Yeah, I'd like to maintain my dark square bishop, so let's go here. Let's play that one. So if this, I can still probably play this move. Might castle queenside at some point. You never know. e5. All right, so what if I do this again? I'm looking for a problem with that. I'm not really seeing it. Let's do it. Maybe Coffee's just going to play like queen e6. Yep, guess queen e6 played. All right, let's castle. Let's continue playing for an attack. Oh, I missed this move. Nice one. Oh, wait, not a nice one. I thought that was just a win of a piece, but there's mate here, so my opponent resigns. I was going to play that. It just took me a second to get over the shock that I didn't even have a way to avoid losing a piece here. Had it all planned out the whole way. I get the respect resignation. That kind of shocked me, though. So we were both surprised that white was just winning here. GG. Yeah, that's just mate. Which is fortunate for me, because if that's not mate, I'm losing here. You see? Any other move is -5.5. Okay, let's check how much of this is theory. This is the Marshall Gambit. This is a different Marshall Gambit. I think it's called. Yeah. There's a well-known Marshall Gambit in the Lopez. We were actually talking about that one earlier. So, yeah, knight a6. Yeah, this is the thing. I think bishop f8 is not the move here. It's been played a few times, but it does appear. This is the Masters database I'm looking at. Bishop a5, bishop d6, bishop c3, bishop a3 are all played more often. So this is probably just not a smart idea. Okay, but now we've transposed to some games. Yeah, this variation is a rabbit hole. Am I correct about this? Looks like I played this the right way. So if here I was going to play queen d6, and that's actually checkmate, force mate in 5. So queen f5 is correct. Looks like queen a5 is a good move here. This is a line, if you really prepared this line properly from the black side, it would probably pay dividends because there's some pretty specific stuff that happens here. Unfortunately, white has ways they can avoid all this. They can take on d5. A lot of people just play e3 here. You're looking at semi-Slav transpositions. Black does have some independent options like f5. There's a really good book written on this, which is called The Triangle System by this grandmaster Ruslan Sherbakov. Russian grandmaster, I believe. He's kind of one of the foremost experts in the world on this variation for black. Has written extensively about it. Okay, thanks for the game. Let's get a couple more games in. Oh, Maximus, you're up. Maximus Ostrakus. Good luck to you. Let's play G6 here. Is this the official Lichess stream channel? Yes, it is. Yeah, we're on both Twitch and YouTube, simultaneously broadcasting. Our viewership is a little light today, but we have some serious competition. Again, we say competition in the most friendly term possible. There's 58,000 people watching the Magnus and Hikaru match on Twitch. And I don't even know how many are watching on YouTube. Probably quite a few. If there's 58,000 watching on Twitch, there's probably over 100,000 watching on YouTube, I would imagine. So thanks to everyone who's also tuning into this. You probably did it unconsciously knowing that the knight can't move. Yeah, I don't know, Tafaska. That's an interesting point. I would like to agree with you, but I'm not sure. Well, let's go with that because that legitimizes my choice of castling queenside in that game. Okay. I'll go knight f6. Temporarily block the bishop, but I think it's fine. Bishop f4. I can take this pawn down here. This is a bit awkward for white to unwind. They might have to play like b3 at some point soon. Oh, Simple History is back. This is Viking chess, also known as, I cannot pronounce that, Hiena Falta Falta, is a traditional Nordic board game that predates chess. It is asymmetric. White must escort their king to the edge of the board, and black must prevent that. Escort the king to the edge of the board, and black tries to prevent that. Interesting. Okay. Learned something new today. Oh, and someone wanted to ask, are you the Simple History that has a channel on YouTube? Oh, thank you, Joss. Appreciate it. Okay, that looks a little risky on this diagonal, but I can't punish that immediately. It doesn't seem like something that's punishable. Let's just come back. If bishop f4, I can play e5 or d6. Both are fine. No worries. No sweat. Oh, thank you, Mark, by the way. I see your comment from earlier. Mark R tuning in. All right, now I think I'm going to go here. This looks correct. Like, try to open my dark square bishop. This introduces just a lot of tactical issues for white that they got to dodge now. I just don't trust this whole c3, b4 idea. If white parts with the light square bishop, that's great news. I presume white played h3 last move to stop knight g4, but that looks kind of weak. Yeah, let's take now. And now rook takes b4 is on tap. As is a move like d4. d4 also lurking. Okay, goes there. I don't think I'm going to sweat this move. I think I'm fine with that because that unlocks this diagonal. Right? So, whoa. What is that move? Okay, I think I can take you, take, and then take here. And I've won a piece in that transaction. Let's do that. Okay, and Maximus resigns. Thanks for the game, Maximus. So against this move order, I do think you should advance d5. That is the principled way to play. That's kind of a universal thing when black opts for a Benoni-type pawn thrust with c5. In these d4 situations, advancing d5, advancing past, is usually a good plan. Yeah, and I think as played, probably your best chance was to play bishop f4 right here. I thought bishop e3 was a little awkward. Maybe bishop f4. Yeah, the engine's not very hyped on your position, though. Even says I can go here. Probably because this, queen b6. Yeah, so this maybe reinforces the whole point, like taking on c6 and just allowing this in general. Probably not the way. Thank you for the game. Okay, should I make this... Why don't we make this last game the blindfold game, and then we'll take a quick peek at the Magnus Hikaru game before we wrap up, because we only have 10 minutes left. So let me change my settings here. And we'll sign off with that, shall we? Blindfold pieces. Yes. Okay, so this is a tradition on Lichess plays. We play the final game blindfold. Hey, Fortissimo. I know you. Good luck to Fortissimo. This should be good. Okay. I know Fortissimo's repertoire, so I have to figure out what I want to do against him. Let's play e4. Good luck. Now, this is not a pure blindfold game, right? Because I see the highlights. I know roughly where the pieces are going visually, but it's pretty close. In an online setting, it's a reasonable proxy. Okay, so this is the Najdorf variation. I'm pretty familiar with this from the white side. Still tough, though. Playing blindfold is never easy. But yeah, the blindfold exhibition I did last week was a pure one where I posted some pictures of it on Twitter. I had an actual blindfold. It was in person. Visualizing everything in my head. Yep, knight bd7. Let's play bishop d3. We'll go for this line. Yep, b5, rook he1. I played all this before. Bishop e7 is the move now. Black plays rook b8. I don't think rook b8 is right. Rook b8 is suspect. I can think about knight d5 here is interesting. Should I drop that in? Knight d5? Let's do it. That's always a fun move. I'm opening up the file towards the king. Hitting the queen. This is going to get messy, though. Shout out to Messi. Congratulations to him and Argentina. Okay, so we're going to take with a pawn. And I'm going to target that rook on that bishop on e7 with my rook. Knight c7, knight c6 rather, or knight f5, possibly dropping in. Oh, this is rated too. My rating is on the line. Okay. Yep, take. We'll take here. Yeah, this is tough for black. I'm not really sure what black should do here. I think the position's already pretty rough. But let's see what Fortissimo comes up with. Bishop e7. Okay, but now knight f5 I think is pretty darn clean for me. There's a pawn here blocking the attack. So that's fine. So I think drop this in here. And I should be good to win this bishop. Again, I've got the rook set up here. Black still has a knight on d7, so that even blocks this defense. Could try knight e5. Doesn't look great, though. Also, I'm hitting g7. I used to love playing this bishop g5 Najdorf from the white side as a kid. It was one of my favorite variations. I logged a lot of hours playing and studying this line from the white side. Hello, Elite Ops. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Knight c5. Okay, but I can take on e7 now, right? And I'm winning the queen. I can also take on f6 first, but let's take here. Okay, king takes. And now let's give a check here. King runs. Let's take. And then check. Yeah, black's on the run here. I am... Let's actually go here. I'm going to try to make this knight declare its intentions. Take. Probably now queen into d7. I think should be fatal. As I'm threatening, isn't this mate or close to it? Check. Oh, wait. Is there something there? Didn't black play bishop takes d5? No, I'm confused. Okay, I got to go here. I'm confused at this point. What is blocking that? Oh, that was check. Rook bca was check. Okay, got it. I think I thought I still had a knight on c3, but that's clearly not the case. Okay, this should be mate. Okay, that was the one thing that was tripping me up. I was trying to play this move, but I was in check, actually. So I think I still visualized my knight here. GG de fortissimo. Yeah. So this variation is highly, highly theoretical. If we click open the database, there's a lot of games here. Black goes bishop e7 in this position. Try to get the bishop opposite the queen. So yeah, fortissimo. I think if you deviate just a little bit even in this line, this is what can happen. Let's just check if knight d5 is good here. Yes, knight d5 is good. It's a typical sacrifice in the Sicilian. One of the big triggers is if you have the rook opposite the enemy king along the file. Oh, and it likes knight f5 even better here. Take. Okay, so your one chance is king f8. Interesting. I didn't see that in the game. Literally and figuratively. But yeah, that does step out of the file. So that is interesting that this would have been even stronger, actually. And now if king f8, then e5. Okay, that's massively complicated, but apparently good for white. Yeah, as played, when the knight jumps in here, this is crushing. It's a tough variation if you get the theory just even a little bit wrong. For either side, really. Okay, and it took me like 20 seconds to figure out I was in check, but we did figure it out. Yeah, thanks to the game, Fortissimo. And thanks to everyone for challenging today. Let's take a quick peek before we wrap up at the very hyped up match going on right now. So the current score is what? Okay, we're looking at the finals. I don't know if there's a way to easily tell the score here. So they're in the 3+1 portion. Okay, we can figure it out. So Hikaru was +4, actually. And then Magnus got his first win of the match. Took 10 games, but he got his first win. That narrows it to +3. Wow, it's back to +4. Hikaru, they had a string of draws, and then Hikaru won. So if my math is correct, Hikaru is leading by 4 points. Torque TV confirms 9-5. Wow. Okay. So I think they're still in the 3+1 portion, but you guys have that to look forward to if you're looking for something else to watch. As if you're not already watching that, but yeah, they have apparently about a half hour, a little less than half hour left in this 3+1 portion, and then they'll be going on to the 1+1. And Magnus has a huge lead he has to make up here. Hikaru just front running this match, appears to be playing really well. Maybe Magnus is a little out of sorts, but Magnus has his work really cut out for him here. Maybe we can check. I'm curious about that blunder. This is the game that we actually were looking at. Or no, it wasn't. It was this one. The last time we checked in on this match. You guys said that Magnus blundered a simple tactic. Where was it? Oh. Oh. Okay, I don't know if that's simple, but it did go from equal in this position. He has to find the move queen d2, hitting the knight and also guarding f4, to a loss after knight f4, and then black's pieces are getting in, because if this, queen g4 is killer. Okay, yeah, so this is the current position. Turn off the engine. Magnus appears to be under pressure. Maybe we can watch this again here before we wrap up. And we'll see who we're raiding next. Maybe we'll raid Asios. Asios very likely is covering this match, actually. So, Lichess mods. If you want to hand it off to someone with the raid afterwards. Good. No Joke Chess. Shout out to No Joke. Says, yes, raiding Asios after this. Very cool. I think Asios is Norwegian. I want to say Asios is also a Lichess mod, although I'm not 100% sure about that. Okay, what's going on here? Can this knight be won? Probably unlikely. Maybe just a draw. And remember, Hikaru is an absolute master of like match management. He's played so many of these speed chess championship matches. I mean, yeah, they did draw the game. He really understands the strategy and how best to use the match clock. So Magnus, even though there's still quite a bit of time left, this is getting to be like a terminal lead. If it's still 3-4 games leading into 1+1, I mean, I would never doubt Magnus, but the way that this match has been going and Hikaru's pedigree, Magnus needs to get a couple wins here before the end of the 3+1 portion. Okay, and they both got up. They're on break. Someone said Magnus has changed outfits multiple times, which is funny because, yeah, he does appear to be wearing a different outfit as when the match started. Okay, so we're going to be rating Asios now on Twitch. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Lichess Plays today. I know it's been a big day for viewing, so I appreciate you spending some time here. Thanks to everyone who challenged. And I'll see you guys when I see you. We're approaching the end of the year. I'll coordinate with No Joke Chess about the schedule for me personally for Lichess Plays. Might be my last stream of the year, but you never know. We could perhaps do it on a different day. And yeah, once again, thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy the end to the Magnus